Episode 2, let's do this. Just gonna wait for Jose to get back.
Yes. Anyone want to queue for an ARAM with me?
I don't
Sure.
play League.
But we can't talk about the ARAM.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to. It's just gonna it's literally just there so I it'll ground me in place.
What do you mean?
You know how I am. It's how much more attentive I can be when I'm playing games. It's weird.
Focus. It's like a focus thing.
Big focus.
Like I was contemplating just playing fucking Siege for the next 2 hours.
Do you want to like screen record Discord and just use the gameplay from us?
Nah, I got it. I have an idea for this
Okay.
Okay.
one.
Stop.
Yeah.
All right, I'm here.
All right.
He's here.
Cool. Yeah. First thing on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
Not high school, but like school experiences from as far back as you can remember until now. Or for Destiny, like from as far back as you can remember to when you graduated. One thing,
What?
one time in first grade, I think I've shared this story before with you guys, but fucking, it was first grade gym class. We were playing this game where we have to. It was like there was like 40 kids in our class because it was the two classes put into one, whatever. And then
hmm
like we had this activity where we were in lines of like maybe 6 to 7, and then we had to run. It was like a relay race type thing. We had to run down, grab a ball, like grab something, and then come back. So, one like I was towards the back of the line. That's not really important, but it helps give perspective. So behind us there's this wall. There's like I want to say not whiteboard type wall, but just a wall, and under like it had like a metal bar for the outlets to cover the wires. And this girl really despised me. So I was peeking out over to see like how my team was doing. And the next thing I know, this girl's just running full fucking speed at me, right? Shoves me. Fully intentional, like shoves me. Knocks me down. I hit my head hard as fuck on that metal pole.
Ow.
Yep. And to this day, 11 years later, I have not gotten an apology from her.
Did you tell on her?
Yeah, she got in so much trouble. The gym teacher like ran me to the office, like ran me to the nurse's office, called my parents. It was bad. My dad told me that when he got there, he was like apologizing. It's like it's not your fault. It's her fault, not yours.
Right.
But,
Well, that's interesting.
yeah.
Speaking of metal poles, when I was on the playground in elementary school, like I was looking where I was going to, but I literally ran straight, like headfirst into a pole.
Ooh, how hard was just running into the pole?
Like I was sprinting, and
Oh,
I
no.
ran straight into the pole. Like it hit my head and everything.
Oh. Oh no.
Cannot begin to describe
And-
how much of a mood
And I
that
was,
is.
and I was like, "Teacher, my head hurts." And she was like, "What happened?" I said, "I ran into a pole." And this is I still had I have horrible anxiety, so
Right.
that was interesting, like trying to tell her.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I have a similar
Wow.
story that happened to me in elementary school,
Is it the Donald
but
one?
not necessarily. I didn't hurt myself.
Is it the Donald
was-
one?
Yeah.
I love this story.
So Destiny, you never. So basically,
man.
I'm the only one here that has seen it.
That witnessed
That
this
witnessed it.
event.
Yeah, Corey and Gyula weren't even in Highland Park or New Jersey. I'm pretty sure.
I was in Edison.
So we have this. There's this kid in our school. He's special.
No hate,
Not
but a lot of
special
hate.
needs, but like he's kind of stupid.
A special type of person.
So in elementary school, we had this kind of bridge I don't know if you've ever had this kind of bridge where it's like, or if you've seen one that's like, you can kind of like jump on it and it'll like kind of jiggle and
Like the
everything. So it's,
springy ones from playgrounds.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
like those.
Mhm.
And so, apparently what had happened, because all I saw was the aftermath, was that the idiot decided to climb up on one of the rails, and then
What?
and then he lost his balance, he
Mhm.
fell, and apparently they also described it that somebody had just jumped on the bridge, so it basically was flying back up, and it smashed him in the head. He ended up it hit him so hard that it flung him backwards onto the wood chips. And so like I'm coming around the corner with one of my old buddies, and we just see him sprawled out on the ground. He got wood chips in his arm, and he's just bleeding from his head, crying. And we're like, "What?" We were so confused, and immediately like 4 kids were running away, trying to hide themselves so they didn't get caught for being idiots as well. And like one went to go tell the teachers, and we were really confused. And so when he comes back the next day, not the next day, like the next few days after, some serious bandaging and all that, he comes back and acts like it was planned from the start, and that he was trying to get himself hurt by jumping off the thing onto the bridge while people were jumping on it. It was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen, as well as the most blood. Actually, no. Back then was the most blood I've ever seen.
There has been more.
I'm pretty sure that's why he's stupid now. Like, I'm fairly certain that that's why Donald is as stupid as he is.
The funny thing is, he's not the only victim from that.
Who else has done it?
It's not that people have done it.
Please don't
It's
tell me
just that
something.
thing is.
Seems like something Daniel Zhang would have done. I don't even know him, but it seems like something he would have done.
Nah. But it was because of how unstable it was, and like people were idiots and just kind of ran across the damn thing. I myself one time fell, but I didn't fall as hard as Donald. But there was another kid who happened to just like kind of, I don't know what they were thinking, but they just didn't land right when they jumped jumped onto it. So they just like kind of slammed. They just slammed their face onto the bridge and were just flopping on it.
Oh my god.
That thing was dangerous, man.
Yeah, apparently. So
Also my all I remember with my elementary days is that every single toy that I brought into that damn school
Somehow turned into
somebody.
Yeah.
It hurt them. And almost caused some serious injuries one time.
Who are you hurting, Jose?
I wasn't hurting anyone, alright? I'm the one that was just providing the fun for everybody else. It was them being the retards. A good example
The
is our
retard?
how the turns have tabled.
A good example is when I used to be really into Hot Wheels back then. So I had this Hot Wheels that was kind of like a boat and a car.
Uh-huh.
But this thing, the way it was shaped was that it had 2 prongs sticking out of it, right?
Prongs, okay.
So I brought it to school. I brought it to school very often, but like, so Corey, Gyula, and I have a friend named Jackson. And before these guys even met, before these guys were even around, me and Jackson were on the playground. And we were at the slides, and the way the slides were built were that they had no like top covering on them. And so what we would do, and so like the top of the slide was built like a kind of mini half pipe for us to just like fling the cars off. And so the dude, he goes full force trying to zoom that boat car up, and it I don't know how it did this, but it managed to go. He managed to go make it so that it went straight toward basically the middle of his face, and it only hit. And somehow he managed to move out of the way enough for it to just slam him in the forehead. Because the way the car I saw it almost hit him was that the prongs had they continued where they were going and had he not moved, they would have hit straight toward his eyes. And he has glasses, so it would have probably just shattered his glasses or cracked them.
Fucking.
So Gyula, your turn.
God damn.
Do you have anything from your school, Gyula?
Uh, I guess I have a few dumb things I can say.
Uh-huh.
I guess here's one thing I can go for. So, some time I want to say either second or third grade, this one kid had really pissed me off.
Uh-huh.
And he was a complete asshole to me, like everyone else in my class. Who would have guessed? But one day, it was an after school, I had enough of his shit. And he was taunting me about something. I don't remember what. But that was just it. I lost it. I walked up to him and I uppercut him straight under the jaw
Oh my god.
and knocked his tooth out like clean. Uh, needless to say,
Well, on
his
the bright
parents weren't
side,
too
he got
happy.
some money that night from the Tooth Fairy.
Well, I think that's if you're putting it nicely.
So if there's one good thing to have come out of that.
You got
Oh,
money.
it turned out it was a cavity. Needless to say, though,
Oh, so you saved him a dentist appointment, too.
I guess. Yeah, so that was definitely a thing that had happened. I guess something that was stupid. It wasn't an injury necessarily that happened though. At one point, some kid brought a knife to school, and
What?
everyone was chasing, or like, in he was. How do I even say this? Because I don't know how to say without it sounding stupid. Because it was stupid.
Okay.
Like, it just was. Basically, the kid was chasing other kids around with it, like with the blade out and everything.
Uh-huh.
Somehow, no one found out until the end of recess that was going on, except for everyone else. One kid apparently they fell over and they almost stabbed themselves with the knife.
Oh my god.
And that's when the teachers found out what was going on.
Uh-huh.
Mind you, they could see everyone running around. So how it went on for so long with no repercussion, as it did at least, beats me.
So you guys know those like after school programs that like elementary schools had, like if kids had parents that worked late and then like you
Yeah,
just
I
play
went to
games
those
and
all the
stuff.
time.
Okay. Fucking I was a part of it from 2nd through 4th grade because both my parents like worked a lot, like pretty late. And one time we were playing kickball, like as like little kids, like elementary schoolers do, like how kickball's like
all
the
the time.
popular thing. One time I was like the best kicker in my school for some fucking reason, right?
Right.
And so the council, like one of the counselors would would always pitch to us because we're small, stupid, retarded kids, and so he rolled me this perfect ball. I booted that bitch It went all the way to the other side of the blacktop that we would play on, like the blacktop area that we play on. Beamed some girl right in the back of the head. I would say a good maybe half a football field, like maybe half a football field to like 3/4 of a football field away. She was drawing like sidewalk chalk with her friends, and then all you hear is just boom, and this girl just gets flattened. I felt
Oh no!
like, don't get me wrong, like I felt really bad, but in the
But it was
moment,
funny.
that shit was funny as hell, and like to this day, like I still laugh about it because like I'm just baffled that it even happened. Because it's like that's not something you would expect to happen from like a third grader, right? And that was like the talk. That was like the talk of my grade for like maybe 3 weeks. Because like when you're in elementary school, everyone's friends. Like
Oh yeah.
like in 5th grade, like people start to dissipate, whatever. But and then middle school hits, and it's just like friend groups. But like second through like first, like kindergarten through 4th grade is like the peak for friendships. So like everybody knew each other. Everyone's been to each other's houses. So everybody knew me as like that kid who like knocked some girl out with a kickball. I felt like it was a power move. I asserted
That
my
is a power move.
I asserted my dominance at 9 years old.
At 9 years old, you asserted the fact that yes, I
will not hesitate to
murdered someone.
murder you with a kickball. Like, don't fucking test me. I will do it. Like, you will not survive. Just let that be known.
Let it be known has been known to survive.
So who was bullied?
Same.
I think all of us.
Jose, were you bullied in elementary school?
You know, I was
in
probably
middle
really
school?
stupid to even know I was being bullied.
Well, you know what?
I do recall in 3rd grade though that what was it? I used to at that time. That was when I brought my Game Boy, and so I remember I got given a game by a friend of mine, and so basically me being the nice little fool I was, got asked by one of the older kids if they could lend me the game, if I could let them the game. So I lent it to them. A week later, I'm like, all right, can I get the game back? And they're like, oh, sorry, I left it at home. I'll bring it to you tomorrow. And for the next few months, I was being a complete fool and kept asking him the day, being like, he'll bring it tomorrow. He just forgets like me.
Oh,
The end of
no.
the school year comes, and I'm like, I'm not getting this fucking game back, aren't I?
Oh, that hurts. And it hurts even more because I know that feeling. It's like a gut feeling you get when you realize that you've been like completely bamboozled by this person.
Yeah. It hurt. It was like, ooh.
Did they just keep saying the same thing? Oh, I left it at home.
Yep. Or like, oh man, I'm sorry, I forgot it. Or it's in my locker. I'll give it to you at the I'll give it to you at a certain at the end of the day. Just meet me here. I'll meet them there, and they're not there. I'm like, well, they probably just forgot. I'll see them tomorrow. Ask them again during the recess. Gullible fool I was.
What game was it? I'm actually curious.
It was actually it was Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga for my Game Boy.
I still have mine.
Wow.
And I was like, damn, it really do be like that sometimes.
It really do.
Thing was, I did the same thing to him like maybe a month later. Like I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to take one of his games. I asked him for a game, he lent it to me, and I just kept I gave him the same response for a few weeks, and he forgot. But I never forgot, and I kept asking.
My
What game did you take from him?
I think it was like a Dragon Ball Z game.
Oh
For the
my
Game Boy.
god, those games were beautiful for the Game Boy. So my story with that is like it's sort of similar. Like I had this friend from like up until like 7th grade. You know, he was like my best friend. We'd stay over at each other's houses like every other fucking night. And you
Yeah.
remember how like maybe like elementary school years Diary of a Wimpy Kid was like the most popular book that you can get.
Yeah.
Oh
No,
yeah.
I
for
had
me, it was
I had
Bone.
Bone 2. I had all of them, and my friend hadn't read the third one yet, right? So I let him borrow it like the friend I was. He borrows it
Ooh.
for like a month because we're stupid, we can't read. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt. He returned it to me. I find out that he put his own drawings in the book. Like he would put like random drawings and shit in the book and like basically ruined my book and didn't tell me. He left it for me to find out. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? And like I was looking at it in class and the teacher I was like, what did you do? And then the teacher walked over and she's like, what happened? And I was like, oh fuck, I forget the kid's name, it's been so long. He's like, oh, so and so
Kid thing.
so and so like I let him borrow my book and he returned it to me and he wrote all over it. The absolute fucking anger that came out of this woman. She berated a little kid for like she went on a whole spiel about destruction of property and shit. Like that's how bad it was.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she like made him feel like shit. Like I was like, I couldn't believe my eyes. It was like she was like the nicest teacher ever. She was like the nice old lady teacher.
Oh
you
my
know?
god, the next one. When they get mad, it's like, oh.
When
no,
they get mad,
fucked
you
up.
know
That-
you fucked up.
Yeah.
Like when you make the nice old lady teacher mad, you know that you fucked up. But yeah,
Not just a little bit.
no, you had to have done something. I think the only other time I've ever seen that woman mad was when like, this was like 2nd grade, I think, and then the next year in 3rd grade because it was all this one big corridor, like 1st through 3rd graders and then 4th and 5th graders were the other side of the school. It was like the coolest shit ever. But like in 3rd grade, I saw like I was walking down the hall, and like I was going to get a drink or something, and I saw these two kids playing tag down the hall, and like the teacher looks out, like she hears something, and then she opens the door, looks out, looks at me, and I was like, I shrugged my shoulders, and then she turns her head the other direction, sees these two kids like fucking Naruto running, not like they were running at each other, like they had their backpacks on, they were like sumo wrestling but with backpacks.
Right.
The teacher fucking like my one friend who was in the grade above me at the time, he's like, dude, I heard this teacher shout from the other side of the goddamn school. That's how loud she was. And those are the only 2 times I've ever seen the nice old woman teacher get mad in my life. It's like, you fucked up once you did something that like once you make the old ladies mad.
Once the old ladies are mad, that's it.
Okay, on the topic of old ladies, can I like share something that's like really like pure to the soul?
Sure.
It's such a great feeling when like you go to like a store or something, and like an older black woman like calls you honey or sugar. It's like I don't know what's up with it, but it's like being called like sugar or love or honey from like an older black woman is like the most.
Are
like-
you specifically an older black woman?
No, but I've had this experience. Like, freshman year when I was playing football, like it was after a game, and I needed food, so my dad took me to the store to get me food, like a frozen pizza or something. He got me like frozen pizza and like a snack or something because we had won that game, and I was like super tired, and like we were walking into the store, or like through the parking lot, and this older woman stops putting her stuff in the car, and she sees me, like, because I was half in uniform, like I had my pants and stuff on. I still have my pants and stuff, like I had my jersey on over my shirt, and she's like, oh, sorry, I had to burp. She's like, oh, sugar, come here real quick. And then she starts talking to me. Like, she starts giving me life advice and, like, being, like, the sweetest woman on the planet. Like, this is, like, it was, like, the nicest thing I've ever heard from a stranger. I feel really bad not remembering exactly what she said to me. But, like, I remember the gist of it. It was, like, oh, you seem like such a nice kid. Like, you'll do great things in life. But, like, there's things that she said that really, like, hit home, like, touched my soul. And, like, just, she called me sugar at the beginning and honey at the end. And it was, like, I was humbled. I was like, it's sweet knowing that someone will take the time out of their day to, like, be nice, you know?
Oh yes.
And it's, like, being, like a shy, like, overweight kid who, like, didn't really have friends. It's, like, you know, humbling.
Yeah, it's a mood.
But yeah, that was my little spiel on old women.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna let you know a little fact about me and my family. If you were to meet any like my big family, they would shit on you so hard.
Why?
Because
What?
that's the way my family runs. You see,
Oh, if you hang out with anyone on my dad's side of the family, you will get shit on.
the thing is, my family will berate like people that have that did something funny, and they will basically just make fun of them.
But, like, it's
And
in good fun, right?
Yeah, it's always
it's like-
always a custom. And the thing is, whenever new people or like people that are coming into the family, and we start making fun of them or making fun of other people, what happens is that they usually, because they don't know that we do it because everyone knows that we're not really serious. And
They
we don't
just
really
think you
give a
guys
shit.
are just assholes.
Yeah, they think they like get uncomfortable. It's like the weirdest thing, because my uncle, his girlfriend, basically like my mom says that one time we were they were joking about something, and how for whatever reason she just his girlfriend decided to take it really seriously, and it's like, what the hell? We're just making fun of remark. We're not trying to make we're not trying to physically beat somebody down with these with this info. We're just trying to make a smirky remark and then move on,
Right.
but it's the funniest when you get to see it. I've only really heard it, but apparently being able to just see them uncomfortable when that everyone else is just doesn't care what is said. It's the funniest thing. That's the reason why you hear me with my really, 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 really bad remarks, because somehow my family also makes those really bad remarks, if not worse.
So,
It's so bad.
remember that time, like, between 8th and 9th grade, I was with Addie? Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
So,
Mhm.
over the summer, I had her over my aunt's house, because, like, it was, like, a thing that, like, people would, like, go to my aunt's house and just hang out, like, have food, we'd watch TV, like, it was, like, the Olympic season, so we were watching in between, like, some show and then the Olympics.
Mhm.
And I made a joke about it was like the women's beach volleyball, and I made a joke. I don't remember the joke. If I remember it later, I will let you guys know. But it was like kind of offensive towards. It was like kind of racy, and Addie was right there next to me, and I get shot this dirty ass look, and fucking my dad made the situation way worse, and so did my uncle. Cause my dad, my uncle, and cousins were there too, so it's like, and like we're like your family, like we just joke around with each other, like we like shit on each other, and my dad of all people, I'm still very uncomfortable with it. The fact that he said what he said. He's like, oh fuck, fuck. I
I
really
think I
wish
remember you telling me about this,
I
actually.
I really wish I remember what the joke was.
I just remember it was something that was, like, further made what you said, like,
Yeah. So no, I'm
just
trying to remember the joke. It was
worse.
like it was a joke about like Hispanic women. Not like too offensive.
But it was definitely...
And I had completely forgotten that he was Hispanic. And my dad, he was like, "Oh, I bet." Oh, fuck, dude. It was so creepy when he said it. Like, I'm very reluctant to be saying it. It was that bad.
Do it.
He's
Do
like,
it.
he's like, "Oh, I bet you wish she was up there on TV." And I was like, "Dad, no!" And
It was bad.
the visible discomfort on both of our faces. Like, oh my god! Like, I'm as red now as I was when it happened. That's like the second-hand embarrassment from that situation, even though it was me. Like the embarrassment I'm getting from it now was just astra fucking nomical. And I was like, I looked over and I was like, I'm so fucking sorry. Cause like it's like she wasn't used to that, like my family being like sarcastic and like being assholes like that. But like my dad was trying to do it in like a good fun. Like I understood, like
But it did not come out that way, did it?
No, it did not. It came out creepy as fuck and made me look really bad.
Dude, that's just like the guys in my family. They're all
Yeah,
retarded
it's so bad.
fools.
Like if you guys were to, like Jose, if your family was to meet my dad's side of the family,
They get along.
they would get along. Like they would get along about as well as you and I do. Like it's insane.
We shit on each other and we get fun. Oh Lord.
Yeah, it's all in good fun, but like
It's all in good fun until it isn't all in good fun.
it's all in good fun until someone gets offended. Once
Once
someone
gets offended, they
someone
immediately get berated.
when someone in the group that's making the jokes gets offended, that's how you know you went too far. Like that's how it is with my family.
No, for me, it's like basically it starts a chain reaction. It's like once somebody gets offended, immediately everybody turns on that person and starts making fun of them, and then they'll keep going until somebody else gets offended, and it just restarts the cycle over and over again until like eventually like it dies down, and we're like,
Yeah,
you're a retard.
you're a tard.
You're tard.
You're tarded. It's like you're aren't, but you're tarded. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, it sounds really bad, and honestly.
How about your family, Gyula? How's they?
It depends what side you're talking about. Because
I
on
don't
one
know
hand,
which side you want to talk about it.
I've
I'll honestly just talk about... I'll mention both sides here. So, to give the most brief description of my mother's side of the family, one part of them is very, how do I even say this? It's just, they try to act like, they have the big monies and whatnot,
big money bitch.
and they don't,
Uh-huh.
but they try to, and so for that, they end up getting themselves in some really weird positions that they shouldn't be getting into. My aunt, for example, who is constantly in debt, and my grandparents get her out of it all the time. Like, they always help, because they're the only ones in the family who have been successful. So needless to say, it's not very, not the best. But that's fairly tame compared to my dad's side. On my dad's side of the family, you have a mix of, the joking, silly stuff and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And then on the other side, you have heroin addicts. you got people who ran away from a totalitarianistic based lifestyle of Hungary,
Uh-huh.
where for having a political ideology that was out of line to them, that was it. You were basically just shot on sight or executed, anything along the lines of that.
Mhm.
Um, needless to say, they're very interesting because you got my grandpa, who is a complete fucking asshole to anyone. I mean, like, if you want to talk about the whole, like, oh, I support equal rights, I'll, swing equally at anyone and whatnot. He's like that,
Equal
but
rights,
he's
equal
more like,
fights.
I will literally, like, I don't care who you are, kind of thing. Like, you could be my boss and I don't care. Like, he's just strange man.
I don't think I've ever seen the stereotypical like nice grandpa ever.
Well, see, then on the other
Specifically,
hand, he can be really nice. Like, he can be
yeah,
a
but
really
not like I've never. But I don't think like the stereotypical like white grandpa that's like. "Arr."
yeah. No, I've never seen it
No,
myself.
no. Like, sure, my grandpa, he like what I remember is that like he would be nice,
Actually,
but
to be
like
fair,
he was stern.
Destiny, I hope you don't mind me bringing this in. Uh, gosh, please forgive me if I'm forgetting. Is your Uncle John the one?
Uncle?
No,
What the
Uncle,
fuck
Grandpa.
are
I
you
can't
Like your
talking
remember.
uncle.
about?
Uncle Grandpa.
God, I can't remember.
My papa?
Yeah, he's the one with the half decayed foot, right?
Huh?
We're not at my family yet. Why are
I
you
know,
talking
but
about my family?
I just want to bring this up because it's funny.
No, talk about your family first.
No, she'll mention
Ah,
it. Talk about yours.
well, no, because it relates to the current topic.
Uh-huh.
It's just the fact of the whole like stereotypical like white grandpa kind of thing. He's the closest to that I've ever met. So anyways, yeah, my family is very strange, not the best.
The few experiences I've had with like your mom and Steven. Steven's cool.
Steven's cool.
Steven's cool as hell.
Yeah, and then you
Is that because
just
he's not part of the family,
I'm
or
just
is he?
I'm just
He's
not gonna.
I'll go ahead and I'll say my mom
I like how we got all
is
quiet.
so fucking awkward around anyone I introduce her to.
The first time I was at your house, man. I was just
It-
randomly there too. Like we were playing Battlefront 2, I think. And
Yeah.
and your mom walked in. She's like, "Oh, I didn't know you had people over." And I was like, "Oh, hi." Like,
My God. And was it she started offering like drinks and stuff and snacks, and she kept persistently like offering it, and despite Corey saying no constantly, kept doing so. It was just
and I was like,
so
I was
creepy.
leaving soon. I was leaving soon anyway. I think I was there because like I was staying at my
No,
dad's at the
she
time, so I couldn't
wanted
go
you
home.
to stay there for dinner.
You know, he would have been fine with that had my aunt not been the one picking me up.
But
Like,
it's just like it's the first time my mom ever met him. My
yeah,
mom still wants you over for dinner.
hey, I'm fine with that.
Like she's so persistent on it.
I think that day that we did the science project, she wanted me to stay over.
Yeah, she did.
I think that night my mom was actually making food. If she wasn't, I would have stayed.
God, it's just my mom is so weird. I hate it so much. And on top of that, like at home, she can be a complete control freak. over everything.
Can we talk about the Red Robin story after Destiny goes into her family?
Yes.
I mean, technically, you're on that topic, so you can talk about it now.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So
What
I
happened?
I didn't want
Who
to.
should start this?
I'll do it. So
Alright.
fuck. What it was last September, right? September of junior year, 2018.
2 years ago, I think now.
No, it was September will be 2 years because it was we were juniors. I think.
Oh, I
It was
mean, like, coming up
2018.
on-
20, yeah. Okay. So it was 2018.
Desk.
This is. I think this is the first time Jose's hearing this too.
It might
Yeah,
be.
It might be. So Jose, just for perspective, this like heading into this is like right where my lactose intolerance started. All right, I'm just gonna give you a heads up. So
So, like,
Destiny.
you didn't know you had it at the time, or
No,
you just
I just found out. I think that's actually how I found out.
No,
and
you knew before this.
I knew like a little bit before or something, but that's not that important right now. But at the time, like Destiny had just gotten in from. I think you guys drove here.
Yeah. They drove
And-
here and they just checked in.
Yeah, it was the first night, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
First night.
And they were going to dinner and I got invited. And so I went over to Gyula's, met Destiny, and we hung out for a little bit. We played
That's
with the
very
Lego.
awkward.
We played with the Lego creation thing for a little bit.
I think it was just me, honestly.
No, I made it. I know. I made the lawnmower with the banana on top.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then you put like you made a little UFO.
something like
Or
You
that.
something
know,
like
I can honestly imagine how Destiny.
Did
would've
you ever
been
send me
at
the
that.
did you send me the pictures that your mom took?
Probably.
Destiny, were you? Oh, I bet you were when they were doing that. You were the one like sitting on the bed, just kind of awkward.
We were in the living room. She was just
We're in the living room.
Nothing was awkward at all.
no,
actually.
like
Yeah,
it was.
actually,
It
like-
wasn't. It
No,
was
like, okay, think about this, right? I am always like really reserved, right, around people, but I genuinely did not feel a single ounce of awkwardness at all.
It was like
Like,
we had known each other our whole lives and was just a normal
Yeah.
day hanging out. Like that's how chill it was. Like obviously like the first like interaction was like oh wow, this is happening. This is cool. It was like a little bit like sort of hit like wow. But it was like not awkward at all.
Like that's after I got home, that's what I was talking to Gyula about. I was just like, I didn't feel awkward at all
Yeah, like
during that whole thing.
now here's
I
where
always feel awkward.
Now here's where it gets awkward. So we go to Red Robin's, and it was me, Gyula, Destiny's grandma,
Yeah, my granny,
granny, and
Daisy.
her cousin Daisy, and Eula's mom and Steven, like his stepdad, came with us. And so Red Robin has this burger. It's called the Burn and Love Burger. It's easily my favorite burger on the menu. Every time I go there, I get it. But I don't eat I don't eat the jalapeno anymore. And here,
Dude, can you not hold? You cannot hold your spice for anything.
no. Here's why. It's like I think it was Daisy. Daisy dared me to eat the whole. It was a big fucking jalapeno, dude. No, like I'm telling you, like
Well,
they
were
can vouch for me.
fresh?
It
Were
was
they fresh
it
or
was
was it
roasted. It was
I
huge.
still have the video.
It was huge and it was roasted, so like the flavor was amplified.
Actually, no. You know
Daisy
that they're
dare-
actually weaker. They're better. They're stronger fresh.
No, but it was like the flavor was like enhanced or some shit somehow. But Daisy dared me to eat the whole thing in one bite. This this thick fucking jalapeno pepper that was
Like,
filled.
It was huge.
That was filled. It was like the size of maybe both of my thumbs combined, and I have pretty big hands.
Yeah, no jalapeno. Like specifically the like.
But it
Not
was
the-
filled.
not
Like
the-
the second I took a bite, I just got loaded with like the seeds. It was like 100% full of seeds.
Yeah,
Oh my god, was this painful? My mouth like I for a white person I could tolerate spice, but this was fucking atrocious. It was like I was getting punched in the nutsack and like kicked in the throat at the same time. That's what it felt like. And I think to drink I got a root beer float.
Yes.
Downed what was left of it. Ordered another one. Downed that one.
Wait, aren't those?
Ordered a third one.
Yeah.
Downed that one. The entire time, I forgot that they're made with ice cream.
Why are they called root beer floats?
So I'm sitting on a stomach full of this burger, French fries with ranch, which is really good, by the way.
So just a lot of grease.
A
fat,
lot of
and
grease, fat, ranch,
A whole jalapeno.
an entire jalapeno. My mouth was still on fire at the time. After three
It didn't
fucking
work, and
nope,
nothing worked.
3 root beer floats.
3 root beer floats that were pretty fucking big too. Like the
Yeah, they
cups
were
were
big.
fucking
They were
huge.
full. I'm pretty sure they were like full 1 pint like beer glasses.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Ooh.
And I downed them in like 30 seconds.
Oh my god.
Ate all like I chugged it. And dude, I'm getting like queasy just thinking about the experience.
Just
And oh fuck, I was offered more French fries, so I had more fries with more ranch. And I had to like immediately after I got home, I had to go do something. I had to go do something else because I had to go to the Rutgers game the next day, and I had stuff to do. I do stuff on Saturday mornings, well I used to, but so I had to go like substitute my I had to go do the thing early. Like I had to pre-bowl or something. I forget. I think that's what it was. So I'm sitting there bowling my ass off, sweating my ass off, with the fiery feeling of jalapeno. That entire burger, like four or five plates of fries and ranch, 3 root beer floats. I think I had a Dr. Pepper too.
Ooh.
It was bad. It was rough.
It was a rough
Not
night.
his favorite experience.
How long were you in the bathroom for?
At least 45 minutes.
Jeez.
Because what you had a hard time going through
not
that,
just sitting there on my phone for 45 minutes. No, I was
Like, searing fucking pain.
I was in
dude.
serious. Half of it was me in pain. The other half was just I'm not even gonna get into it.
didn't
Just
you?
know
What hurt
I
more?
had to-
What
I
hurt
had
you
to
more,
keep-
your stomach or your
my
or
stuff.
the end.
Ooh, what hurt worse? At the beginning it was my mouth. Like my mouth hurt until the next morning. Like
Now,
the amount of soda I consumed that night did not make my case any better. That and I had like 3 sodas at the bowling alley. On the bright side, I bought a pack of Pokemon cards and I got a Rayquaza from it.
oh yeah.
And the entire time while Corey was eating the jalapeno, Steven was just sitting there laughing at him.
Daisy dared me, and then Steven was like, "Oh, you won't, no balls." I think those were his exact words.
No, not exact words, but he was like, "There's no way you'll do that."
He doubted me. He fucking like, you know how like when someone says, "Oh, say you won't," and then like they say you won't, like you say you won't, and it's like, "All right, bet I'll do it." It was like that. Like
like
he
literally.
did. Like you know how you're more inclined to do something if someone doubts you.
Timo's here.
I was
Sorry,
You're
Huh?
good. I was.
nothing.
It was like a no balls you won't type of thing, and bless you. It was so fucking bad, dude. And like I had to do it. Daisy recorded it.
Yeah, we still have
we
the video
still have
somewhere.
it.
Fucking the
Oh, no.
second the pepper hit my mouth, my face lit the fuck up. And then Destiny's sitting there next to me, like laughing her ass off at me.
It
And
was-
my granny T was like, "Oh no, baby, are you okay?"
Yeah, the only one supportive of me, like making sure I was okay, was
Okay, no, I was supportive of the idea that you're gonna make it.
You laughed at me.
Yes, I
You
fucking did.
shut the fuck up. You laughed at me. The only person who didn't laugh at me was Granny. Okay.
She probably was like, "Oh boy,
Daisy's
kid's
sitting
gonna
there right
die."
across from me, laughing her
Recording it,
recording it, laughing her fucking ass off. And your mom was just like,
Your
her
mom was just like, what?
She looked over at me because she didn't know what was going on. She's like, we were all laughing, and she didn't know what was going on. And she just looks over at me. Her face. Oh my god, her fucking face. It was just like wide-eyed, like, what the fuck did this kid just do? Jose, if the four of us ever hang out, we will go
We're
to
going back to
We
there.
will go to Red Robin's, and I will do it all over again.
We-
Oh,
Oh, the skin is so good.
He ate the whole pepper.
We
will-
really wanted to invite you, Jose, but we weren't sure if you were going to be allowed to come.
Yeah.
The thing was, literally, I think when you came over,
you
I was-
had just left for
I
Pennsylvania.
had just left for PA.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. That reminds me, are you still obligated to go? Now that you're gonna be
Yes,
graduating and
actually,
whatnot?
I have to help them.
Ah, damn.
Because what is it when because we're gonna be going up for Memorial Weekend actually.
Ooh.
And
Wait, you
so
guys are actually gonna be traveling during all of this?
Yep.
Pennsylvania is reopening. Like some spots
Yep.
in Pennsylvania are reopening.
Yeah, but just I'm gonna be gone either Friday or Saturday, and I'm not gonna be coming back till like Tuesday.
Right.
So yeah, not gonna be doing that, and so basically, I'm really supposed to be there to like help out when my dad's not able to do something, or
So what you're saying is for
No.
Memorial Day we're not going to have you for that weekend. We're not going to have you for the podcast, or we could just
Hell
we
no.
could postpone it if you want. But
Nah, if you guys want to do it, do it. I won't be back until like Wednesday.
okay. So now that that's over, Jose, you finally heard the story of
You nearly shitting. You know, I've actually had a similar story, not to me specifically, but with a jalapeno.
oh no. Go ahead.
You see, so
Wait,
there are
can
two
I add
types-
something to
Yes, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
And yeah, the whole time Eula and I were together, Eula's mom was just sitting in the living room.
Oh yeah, that was so weird.
She only left when I got there.
And
Yeah,
she only
literally.
left the living room when Corey was like in the living room with us.
What the hell?
Yeah, like when I went to the
Creepy
bathroom,
shit
she's like,
ever.
apparently she went back or something.
Yes.
Yeah, like literally, she was just sitting in the living room, and then she took Eula into the kitchen, and she was just like, "You guys are." What did she say to you?
Too loud.
No, she didn't say that.
Or was it not that?
No, she was like, what did she say?
Do you remember what it was related to? Because I'd probably remember from that.
She's like too close or something like that.
Oh yeah, she said that that we were too close to each other. We were sitting too close. Something like that. So fucking stupid.
Oh man.
That's not right.
No, it really isn't. It was also really creepy because that means you had to be looking and whatnot.
Ugh.
Dude, like
He literally just had his arm around me. That's
Hmm.
it.
Eee. That's a
Yeah.
little cringe.
So-
That's a big.
Jose, what's your jalapeno story?
Oh boy,
Please.
where do I begin? So,
Where do I begin? That's a great beginning to everything.
so you see, Corey, there are two types of jalapenos.
Uh-huh.
There's
I think
the
we're
thick
we're
ones.
getting the deep insight.
There are the thick ones that you had,
Yeah, the thick
but
boys.
then there are the thinner ones.
Why'd
the
you say
thinner
it like
ones-
that? I'm very
Are worse.
Uh-huh.
They have the concentration is just so much worse. And so one day when I think it was like 3 years ago now, I was in the kitchen. We were actually having like a family get together.
Uh-huh.
So everyone else was outside. So inside my kitchen were me, my cousin, my brother, and my sister. So my cousin at the time, he's 2 years older than me. So at the time I think he was like 17 or maybe 16. And so what was it? He found he managed to grab 2 of the thin jalapenos. And so he said he was gonna bite one and asked me, my brother, and my sister who wanted to eat the other one. So my brother immediately raised his hand, is like, I want to do it. So we were like, well, okay, so if you guys are gonna do this, we might as well, make sure that you don't suffer for too long. So we'll do it. We'll
You'll
give you like
suffer,
a minute.
but not for
A
too long.
minute. We'll give you like a minute without milk, and then we'll give you like these, and then we'll give you glasses of milk. So my brother went and bit the entire thing. He chugged it down. My cousin also did the same thing, and then immediately after a minute, they were dying. So when they got to the milk, they just started chugging and chugging and chugging,
Oh man.
and that's where it went wrong. You see, cause I thought that was the end of it. I was like, all right, now that you got your milk, you should be fine in like a few minutes. So I left. Come back a minute later because I was sent to go grab something. I see our kitchen table full of milk. And I look up
Oh,
at my
no.
brother, and he has milk dribbling out of his mouth. And I look at my cousin, and he immediately hurls on the table. And
Oh,
it's just milk everywhere. And I'm like, what are you doing? Stop! At least go to the sink! And it's just milk literally everywhere, and it's spilling off the table. I'm like, oh my god! And my sister's there, just like freaking out and laughing at the same time.
I mean, I would be too.
And I'm like, when I come in, I'm like, my god, are you guys alright? What the hell happened? And they're like, no, we shouldn't have eaten the jalapeno. And I was like, I don't think it was the jalapeno. I think it was the fact you just chugged down milk without even taking a breath. That your stomach didn't like it. So, and then I realized that I was sent to go grab something. So I was like, you guys have to clean this up. I don't care how you do it, but this needs to be clean. So I grabbed the thing. I grabbed what I needed to grab. I brought it outside, and I'm like, my mom could tell that something was off. And so
Did your parents not know that what was going on?
They didn't.
They didn't know that their kitchen was full of vomit of milk.
Oh.
They didn't know that their youngest child had just vomited milk all over the table.
Oh.
And that their cousin and that their nephew was also vomiting on the table. It was so bad. So I think, what was it? We managed to tell her. We told her what happened eventually. Boy, I managed to just hold her outside and tell her that, and like just say that, and said that somebody was calling for her. So I quickly ran back inside. And when I got back inside, immediately I just saw that my brother they had managed to get the table clean. And so my cousin and my sister were still cleaning. But I don't know what happened necessarily, or like why my brother took the hit so hard. But he was basically just laying on the table, just out of it. And I'm like, dude, this man's gonna vomit again. And the funny part was, he did. As soon as I look at him sprawled on the table, he just like immediately like jumps back up and heads straight for the sink and just goes, "Ugh!"
All from a
like,
jalapeno.
"No!"
The fact that I can handle spice better than your brother.
No, it wasn't that. It was because they were dying
So was
from the
I.
milk ingestion.
Oh. So was I!
I know.
Oh god, that's funny.
You know, this entire time, and we completely skipped over Destiny talking about her family. I feel bad.
No, we haven't. It's just not. It's now her turn. So
Yes.
you know, it's
We
got
just
turn.
had way too many side things that were related somehow.
Oh, also, when we left Red Robin, I thought Eula was going home right then and there because we were in a hotel.
Uh-huh.
So I gave him a hug, and then his mom was like, "Oh, okay, come on." And she like got, I don't know if she got grossed out, and she like started walking away.
She started talking
Corey,
to
did you
about
see that?
public
Yeah.
decency.
Like, what? All I did was hug him. I don't understand.
Like that was literally it.
I don't know if she'd be like that now.
I hope not.
It'd just be like that.
And she didn't really like talk to me that much.
Yeah, she really didn't.
Like it really felt like she hated me, honestly.
My mom is not the best.
Like I'm not
Taking away
joking.
her
I
baby boy.
like she.
I mean, it felt
You
like
think
that's how
being
she
a
felt.
parent, you think she would ask me questions and ask me what I want to, what I'm, if how school is or this and that, right? And she just didn't
Or
ask
like how
me
you two
anything.
met.
She didn't ask me anything.
Well, she knows how.
Yeah, but she literally did
Actually, I
not
don't think
ask
I
me
ever knew.
anything. She barely talked to me. I think the one thing she said to me was, "I like your shirt."
That was it.
That
Yeah.
had,
Huh.
it was confusing. I don't know how she would be now because I haven't seen her since then.
It's either much better or much worse.
Oh.
Which one do you think it would be?
Honestly, better.
At least you're hoping.
At least you're hopeful.
Hoping.
Oh. So how's your family?
What
Destiny.
am I even supposed to say about my family?
Do you
Eula?
have any like experiences like just like we have with like just berating the shit out of each other or like
Can you give us
Oh.
examples of what they're like?
Destiny, do we bring up the family member?
Oh, Eula, you can help. Can you help me because like I'm bad at explaining my family because it's a lot. Like there's a lot with my family.
Yeah. I'll do my best from my experience.
All right.
So, Destiny, go ahead and
What?
just start with someone.
Who am I supposed to start with? This is how this is how much my family is. I don't even know how to explain it.
I'm trying to think
Hoping
like
you'd help
what
me.
a really good starting place is.
Eula, help me! He's not helping me at all.
I'm trying.
He's abandoned you.
I know.
Honestly, I think your Granny T is a really good place to start. Just because, like, she is like, if there was like a Borderlands like description card for it, it would be like everyone's granny, literally.
Even Eula calls my Granny T Granny T. Like
Like,
even Corey was calling Granny T Granny.
she said she told me to.
Yeah, like she is literally everybody's granny.
She was like, "Oh, just call me Granny T," and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
"All right, bet."
she's a really like amazing and someone who's, I guess, probably sometimes over generous with their actions,
Yeah, she can be extremely overgenerous, but
but it's a good and bad thing, I would say, at least. But I think the most notable thing about her is how she's able to have the attitude, like the whole like really terrible, not so nice jokes, but they're they're jokes kind of thing. She definitely has that, but in all the right ways. Like she can say something to you and you know that she doesn't mean it, or you will know if she does mean it in other cases.
To explain her niceness, she took a crackhead off the street. Pretty much.
This is true.
If you want to categorize Brandy as a crackhead,
I think you're doing the right thing.
From what I've heard, yeah, you probably could. You really
oh
could.
yeah, I've told Corey a bit about Brandy. So.
Yeah, you could
Brandy.
He's better off not knowing.
I think the
Let's just leave
world
it
is
at
probably
that.
better off knowing.
You're better off not knowing who Brandy is or what Brandy.
What is Brandy?
Who or what Brandy is?
You sound like it sounds like this thing like Brandy, like
It's an
whatever.
SCP, yeah.
Not an SCP, but just like
God damn it! You guys are on SCP again. Fucking Christ!
Don't get off topic.
Yeah, okay, let's stay on the
Like we
topic
haven't
of
already.
is
Brandy.
Brandy even a family member?
Not
No.
no.
Okay.
No, not technically. No,
Not technically. What?
like no, she's not at all.
She's the mother of Chance.
And Chance is my just a wonderful little baby cousin that totally doesn't hit everybody.
Chance!
Oh, so we're getting on my uncle now.
Yes. Fucking greatest intro right there.
I'm so confused.
That's Jose. Jose doesn't talk to us enough to be let in on the insides of the family.
It's just like all I'm hearing is like inside jokes that I don't know.
Jose, you need to talk to us more.
I'm sorry that
You
I'm.
spoke to Captain too much.
You spoke. Yeah, you spent way too much time with Captain.
Hey man, he was a lonely boy. He needed attention. I gave him the attention that he needed.
You
And
fucking
then
Oh, now
gay.
he's in VR chat.
Now
Yeah,
he
no,
spends
then
all
he
his
threw
time
me
in
to the
VR
curb.
chat.
Yeah, as soon as he used me up, he just threw me to the curb.
Did he throw you to the curb, Jose?
It felt like that.
I mean, he did it for the rest of us. You were just the last one to go.
He
You-
did kind of stop talking to us.
You were his little Mexican son. But he
Not too far off.
I'm gonna get a little off topic here, if that's alright. It's just talking about like Captain. Fucking first he got rid of Jack. Like he like it was the group
First go.
after I like sophomore year, he like when we were all gaming together. First he got rid of Jack. Like he stopped talking to Jack entirely. Then it was me. And then
The way you said me, you sounded so distasteful. Like
no
Me and Destiny
no
at the same time.
yeah he like me, Destiny, and Gyula were all around the same time.
Actually, I feel like we were probably the first ones to be cut off.
We were the first. Yeah, he stopped talking to us before he stopped talking to you guys.
Yeah, so it was you guys, Jack, me. What pisses me off the most is I was with Sammy at the time, and like he
cut her off, didn't he?
no, he didn't. That's what pissed me off. That's what pissed me off, because he cut me off and didn't cut Sammy off.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
And one time, like, Sammy showed me her phone with like Discord, and I went to her conversation with Captain. The shit that I read. I'm not gonna
We're gonna leave it there. Honestly,
I'm not
I
gonna-
don't want to know anymore.
No. Tell me. I want to know.
It was
I'm
nothing.
interested.
It was nothing. It was nothing. It was nothing bad. Like nothing incriminating for him.
Are you sure?
But it was just like
shit talk.
Is it indirectly incriminating?
I want to know the tea.
so.
Give me the tea.
You've introduced the tea. Destiny wants the tea.
So, fuck. Sammy and I had gotten into an argument or something, and she like went to Captain about it, and
That's probably the one person I wouldn't expect her to go to.
yeah, and fucking I forget what he said, honestly. It was like,
probably for the best.
but she was like, I don't remember her exact words, but it was like,
Just paraphrase
wow,
my guy.
wow, if you were a little younger, you'd be the boyfriend that I would want. And I'm like,
That hurts.
we were still together. Like that's what pissed me off the most. Like,
What did Captain say? Like, she said that to Captain, right?
she was complaining to Captain because we got into an argument about something small. Like I had
Then that's probably just being stupid. You know?
I hadn't liked something that she did. It was she did something stupid, and I didn't agree with it, and she got mad, and she went to Captain, and like the things that you don't. I don't remember exactly what he said, and I'm glad I don't. Like to this day, I still want to fucking kill him over it. Like it was like he knew we were together too. That was the worst part.
So wait, he didn't say anything. He just went along with it.
He didn't
Is that
say
what
anything
you're saying?
incriminating, but what he said made her say that if he were our age, she would date him. And I was just like, you joking? Like, am I reading this right now? And we were out in public, so I couldn't fucking say anything.
I would have said something.
Like we were at like Applebee's or something with my dad.
Oh,
We were sitting like I was so fucking furious because it was like 2 weeks after Captain cut me off. And
Why did he stop talking to all of us? Is what I want to know.
I have no idea.
for
I
me,
genuinely
it was
don't
more
know.
of the fact that we both stopped talking to each other. I stopped talking to him. He stopped talking to, and he stopped talking to me.
You guys,
But,
I genuinely have no idea. Jack, I understand. Me and Captain were good friends. Like that's what like confuses me the most to this day. It's like we were friends, and he just like cut me off and did that, and it was like whatever. And Jose,
Well, I think I got the closest to him.
it was me for a while, and then you got close to him for a while.
No, like before you even started getting close, I was already close to him because what was it? We had played a bunch of games together. Remember, he did buy me like a shit ton of games.
Like Eula and I knew him for the longest.
we-
is the
we
thing.
were
You
the
knew him
ones
for the
who-
longest, but I somehow
We're-
got the closest.
Nah,
We got really close to him. Like we
Like,
talked to him
we-
every day.
like he
So,
was our
think-
day-to-day guy,
Yeah.
which could also be the reason that he cut us off first.
What, that you were his day-to-day guy, or what?
Well, that we were talking every day, and he probably maybe got bored or something.
I don't know. I don't know. It was just something that annoyed me.
Maybe it was something that he didn't want to do intentionally.
I don't know.
All I know for me is that I just stopped talking to him after a while, and just like he never. The thing is, I never really bring up a conversation with people. If they don't want to talk, they don't want to talk.
Yeah. I mean, it's whatever. Like now, like 2 years later, fucking, it's whatever. But at the moment, like,
You were hurt.
yeah. But
It's definitely a big fucky.
yeah. It's
It's
definitely.
fucking with the emotions.
Yeah.
It's like, ow, I'm hurt. How could you?
How could you do this to me? We were friends.
Like Captain used to play his guitar for me while I was trying.
Yeah,
to
Used
play.
that shit multiple times.
He was,
Or was that
Yeah.
high?
Him and
Actually, I
High.
think it was both.
It was both. Like
but High
Captain was
would
actually really
eventually.
nice to me, and I don't know. He just kind of became a dick, honestly.
Oh,
Captain.
I think he always was.
No,
I think
High.
we just got to know him.
Oh, hi, someone
Oh,
from
yeah.
the first server.
I love High is the best person, one of the best people I've ever met.
didn't you say
Like-
he became
Period.
a
Like he's
He's amazing.
he's genuinely a great person.
Is that
not
who
talk-
Shaw was?
No, Shaw is a
No.
different. Speaking of Shaw,
Shaw,
I miss
Shaw.
Shaw.
I miss Shaw too.
Even wanted to kidnap
Dude,
you.
Despite the stuff that happened, like around the first few months, I was talking to Shaw. I missed it. I miss him so much. Like, genuinely. I never understood half the shit he said, but you know.
Dude, like for you, he just wanted to kidnap you. For me, it was I completely forgot what he wanted to do with
He
me. and it
wanted
was
you to
very-
do the kidnapping.
He wanted you to
Oh,
set.
yeah!
He wanted you. He wanted you. He wanted you to cover me in Nutella and whipped cream.
And
Put me in
send
a
you over
box
to his
and
place.
send it to him. That's what he wanted you to do.
And with High, I got really close to High, and I was the first one he sang to. Like nobody else knew he could sing. Like I was the first one that knew he could sing,
Yeah, but
and he would always sing to me.
like with Shaw, like that summer, when it was me, you, like Destiny, it was me, you, Jason, and Shaw, like at night, like the podcast days, like that
You see,
summer
I would have talked
2017.
more. I would have talked more had like me not going to PA like stopped like my conversations halfway through.
Yeah,
Like I never really got to know these people because of it. Like all these memories that you guys are talking about, I was never really there.
yeah. You're more part of the more recent ones, and like while the older memories are fun, like the new ones are like ones that I want to talk about because it's like
They're the fun ones.
it's like yeah, like the summer 2017 days when like we were first getting to know each other in Discord, like while those were fun, like we got to know people. This is like the people that like we like pretty much call family now. Like I don't want to like say that for anyone else, but like for me, like I can confidently say like I trust these guys with my life. Like you guys are like the best friends that I can go to. Not to be sappy or anything.
I get a little sappy, not gonna lie.
It's okay. I like sappy.
But like it's something that I felt like needed to be said. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. I understand.
But yeah, like the 10K podcast days, the one episode that we made. Oh man, that's still up, I think. I think I privated it, like I unlisted it, but it's still up. It's a flawless video. Totally not. The editing in it, it's unedited. But
It's just the audio.
the gameplay is like a little ahead of the audio. So like I'm like talking about Call of Duty Zombies because I was playing Nocturne Toten at the time, and fucking like I was playing it and talking about it while we went through, and the stuff I was saying happened after it had already happened in the video. Because I edited it in Windows Movie Maker.
Oh, of course you did. Of course you did.
I'm so glad I have Premiere Pro, man. I'm so fucking glad. No,
I would like to bring up one more thing.
go ahead.
We went off topic. Destiny, your family. You were on your uncle?
Oh yeah, we were talking about your uncle.
Chance!
My uncle. So I grew up around my uncle. Like he lived with me and my dad, right? Him, my dad, me, and Daisy and my other cousin all lived in a house for years.
Uh-huh.
And he had a son like some years ago. He's like 4 or 5 now. His name is Chance, and he lives with my granny T because my uncle also lives with my granny T. His name is Chris, so I'll just say Chris, right?
Uh-huh.
And his style of parenting is very interesting.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I've heard the story you're about to tell.
Gyula and I, like, Chance's bedroom was like right across from us. Like my
I would say
granny T's,
literally right next to it.
house is connected with like a bunch of doors
Uh-huh.
upstairs. Like all the bedrooms are like kind of connected with doors.
Uh-huh.
And his room was behind a door, like right in front of us. And Chance didn't want to go to bed.
You want chocolate milk?
Chance wanted chocolate milk very badly.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and Gyula and I were laying down. I think we were watching Netflix or
iZombie.
something. Yeah, we were watching Netflix.
You knew the exact episode. You knew the exact thing you were
Yes.
watching. You could have just said Netflix,
Yeah.
but
Like him and I were just laying down watching Netflix. And then all we heard was Chance, get in the bed. And then Chance was like, I want chocolate milk. And then all we heard was, get in the fucking bed. and then he screamed.
You were listening to.
Okay, but great teacher. It's like, don't worry, we're not abusing any children.
Wait, what did you say? Did she come in?
Don't worry, we're
Into
not
your room
abusing any children.
tell you?
And Granny T was like, no, she didn't come in, but she came by the door and she yelled. She was like, "Don't worry, he's not being abused," or something. It's like something. And then Brandy started getting into it.
Oh no!
Funniest shit I've ever experienced in my life.
Gyula was dying laughing.
How can you not do something like that? Like, hello.
Like
It would
it
feel
was
illegal
fucking
not to laugh to
hilarious.
that.
So you were listening to a father disciplining his child
Yes, and it was
because
funny.
they didn't want to go to bed.
My Uncle Chris has always been like that. Like when I was like 6 years old and I didn't want to get out of the bed to go to school, he dragged me out of the bed. Like I was literally laying in the floor. Like he dragged me out. He's always been like that.
Yeah, so he's the type that like is he like one of those that gives you a warning, like one warning,
yes,
and then like the second warning
and
isn't
then
a
he's
warning.
gonna
The second warning is not the warning.
It's the punishment.
He gives you one warning and then he beats your ass. Pretty much.
He gives you to the count of 3 and he says 3.
Once he says 3, it's
yeah,
all
and it's in a very angry voice and it sounds terrifying.
Oh no, that was definitely my dad when I was younger. Because he basically like my grandpa. Oh boy, the stories I heard from my dad about my grandpa when my dad was
Getting off the
when my dad
topic
was-
of again. Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's still your turn. I'll talk about my grandpa after.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's your turn. It's fine.
What is this?
So on the top of your grandpa?
What?
My uncle.
Oh, your uncle.
You were talking about your grandpa.
Yeah, no, but I'll just give like a quick synopsis. Some of the things he did was that he kicked my dad out of the house. He left him outside for like a good day or two without letting him come back inside the house to sleep. Another thing is that he got what do you call it? You know, rose bushes.
Hmm.
How the thorn and all that.
Yeah, yeah. This wasn't my dad. This was This wasn't my dad's dad. It was my dad's mom. She, the sweetest old lady. You can't even imagine her picking up one of those vines and whipping the shit out of my dad. It was like, wow. I was like, well, that seems like how it was back in the old day, where if you misbehave, the parents would immediately grab out whatever they could get their hands on and whip the child. I was like, wow, I am a lucky boy, but I'm only getting hit by a sandal.
At least it's just a sandal.
Oh boy. Oh boy, but my mom could make a weapon out of the sandal.
What's the
Sandal itself was the worst part.
What's the weirdest thing you've had thrown at you or been hit with? Like this is a question for everybody.
My own shoe.
Your own.
Like
In
just
a
in general?
gymnasium.
Please explain.
In a gymnasium.
Please.
I don't quite know how to explain this, but I do know because it's very simple. I was just playing around with my friends and whatnot, and we're just messing. We're messing around with those little roller carts,
Uh-huh.
and okay, funny shit ever, honestly. I went ahead, and a ball was coming towards me, so I kicked it. My shoe went flying off, ricocheted off of the wall in front of me, came back and smacked me square on the face. I mean, I guess you could say I'm Thor. It came right back to me on my command. But at the same time, what the fuck?
So, you remember 8th grade? The fucking bleachers?
Yes.
You remember the mats that me and Jack would always lay out and jump into?
Oh yeah, the one that I also slipped and broke my ass on.
Yeah. Do you remember when I jumped on it, it slipped out from under me, came up into the air, and smacked me in the face?
Yes. Oh my god.
That's by far the weirdest thing I've ever been hit with.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting it.
I mean, can you expect something like that?
Like, so here's the backstory to it. I jumped off the bleachers onto it because me and Jack were autistic. And like
As expected.
that's what we did in gym, like before we went outside. So because we were bored, and I jumped off, I slipped. I fall forward, roll over, and it hits the bleachers. Like it slips, hit the bleachers. Somehow ricocheted, caught fucking air. Folded itself in half, like it folded a little bit and went in half. Smacked me right in the face as I was getting up.
It was so good.
The sound it made when it hit me. I can't even describe it. Like describe the sound that it made. It was funny as fuck though.
It was like a cartoon.
Yeah, it was.
Like the whole event itself.
Yeah, it was definitely something that you wouldn't expect in the real world.
I think the weirdest thing I've ever been hit, and like, I'm not saying it was like, it's not necessarily the weirdest thing because people can get hit by it, but it's the weirdest because of how I managed to do it to myself. So the weirdest thing was I managed to get myself run over by my own bike while riding it.
What?
So
You need to explain right now.
So this happened, I say, a good 5-6 years ago. This was when I like didn't actually have access to real electronics, so I was always actually outside and doing just on my bike.
Uh-huh.
And like literally the most entertaining thing I guess for me was going up and down my hill
Okay.
on my bike because I considered it pretty steep and I would gain a lot of air.
Uh-huh.
Not air, but a lot of speed. But I don't know what I was doing or what I was thinking, but I was going down not like stupid fast, but like I was going down at like a quick pace that like somebody would have to be like jogging or like kind of a slow run in order to kind of keep up with me. And I don't know why, but I guess I had a brain aneurysm at the same time because I completely forgot how to stop. I completely forgot that I had handbrakes and that I had the pedal brake, you know, the thing where if you go backwards it slows down the bike.
Oh no.
I
Those were the worst.
No, that was probably the main way I stopped. And honestly, like the way I knew how to ride my bike before then, I used that method to kind of just like do quick turns around a corner.
Uh-huh.
And but I completely forgot how to stop. So I was like,
no.
oh crap, what am I doing? So I just basically decided, all right, I'm just gonna bring myself over to the curb.
This is an emergency landing.
Yeah, gonna bring myself over to the curb and just tilt myself and toss myself off.
Oh no.
And I managed to not only fuck that up because what happened was that the way that like the way my street works is that there's like the curb kind of, you know, for driveways how they kind of dip down and then come back up.
Yeah.
So the way my curb works, it has the up dip.
Uh-huh.
So I guess like my bike managed to hit that somehow and launches me forward. But like my bike doesn't do a flip. I'm just launched forward. And so I'm immediately tossed onto the curb and like roll back onto the road. My bike somehow managed to contain momentum to keep going, and it just slams at me at the same speed I was going at, if not slightly faster because of like the whatever happened. And it just like it just rolls right over my back, and I immediately just continued rolling, and I'm like, ah! I turn around and I'm like, what the hell happened? Did I just run myself over? As I got like tire marks all over my shirt, and I'm like, what the hell?
This reminds me of the many times in 8th grade I fell off my skateboard and almost killed myself.
Like literally in front of school on the ramp.
No, not on the ramp. So the first time was I was first.
Wait, okay, so were we talking about my family?
Yeah,
I'm
like,
so
what?
confused.
We keep going off topic.
This your family is just so diverse. It brings up
That
so
it
many
starts- it
stories.
We're
brings
just
stories.
we went from Destiny's Family to the topic of like injuries.
No, look. So we went from Destiny's Family to 2017 to from then back to Destiny's Family to
Something about Captain.
Jose running over his butt and running himself over. I don't even know how that came up. I deadass don't remember how that came up.
How did that actually? Yeah, what the
Don't
fuck?
even ask because
Yeah.
I'll-
Anyways,
So after Destiny's story with her family, I want to share my skateboarding stories, if that's all right.
Okay. Oh, I thought you meant now. I was like, I'm so
After we finish the long-awaited conversation about Destiny's Family.
I've been mega
I've only heard.
confused.
I've only got up to Chance.
Oh yeah, we were at Chance. We were at fucking.
Chance getting beaten up.
We were at. Don't worry, we're not abusing any children. I think that's
famous
where we
last
left off.
words.
Famous last words before death.
So is your uncle the only one like that in your family, or are there
No.
others?
to that kind of level of extreme like action taken, definitely.
Now, if we're talking
But
about
the only
crazy
one in-
people, definitely not.
Uh-oh. Destiny, I would like to learn.
In this next section, we're going to be bringing up some pretty heavy topics, such as toxic family members, politics, racism, and overall hateful people. Now, keep in mind that we do not condone the hateful things that we will be mentioning. We do believe that things like this need to be brought to light and made apparent. Now, we do crack some jokes throughout this section, but that's just to help ease the light of the people we're talking about, and we do not condone them whatsoever. However, we believe that the best way to spread awareness about people like this is to make them known to the public so that people can be made aware of them and their wrongdoings. Now, if the topics that we will be bringing up make you feel uncomfortable, then I encourage you skip forward to a later part in the podcast or tune away from the rest of the podcast entirely. Now, if you choose to stick around and listen to this section, thank you guys so much and enjoy the rest of the podcast.
Well,
Can we just
I
start by
guess-
saying her brother is super yeehaw?
oh. okay, actually, yes. No, let's talk about that. Actually,
Yeah,
Yes.
let's talk about Brian.
Brian!
You have to say it like that. If you don't, it's just like
It's not the same.
He's quite dumb, to say the least. To summarize him, he's just a cowboy version of you and me put together, Jose. That's how you know it's bad.
Okay, I would like to hear some bits and pieces of this.
Where do we
Gyula, you start.
Yeah, where do we start with this?
Corey also knows a bit about him too.
Where do we start?
I guess I can give a basic description. So, as you already know, he
Uh-huh.
is the yeehaw guy.
Does he
He
actually
is-
said yeehaw?
Not.
No,
not
we're
exactly, but
talking
he's
like country,
like-
we're country style, like lifted pickup, like has
Oh.
friends with lifted SUVs, like drinks
And,
White Claws while he drives.
Oh God. We're getting too far ahead of ourselves.
We are okay. Yeah, I'm getting way
I
too
know, I
ahead.
need-
I'm
I
getting
need-
way
I
too
need-
far ahead.
Brian is a big topic. So, to start off, Brian is not, or as far as I have been able to tell, is not really the brightest in terms of school.
Uh-huh.
He's like me,
Uh,
but worse.
Uh-huh.
but he's super into trucks
Like
and trucks
really
and
bad.
trucks and trucks.
Like he knows trucks.
Like,
Yes,
Jose, Jose, I know you live up north, but the definition of a yee yee is him. Like if you
Like-
Like if you were to
He
think of
wears
like country
cap.
people, it's him.
Like a redneck.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes. Exactly.
actually.
I
Definitely
couldn't
true.
think of the word for the life of me.
And it's not, and being like country and stuff, that isn't bad. But like,
It's just
what
the
makes it
shit
like-
he
the
does.
stereotypical kind.
It's the stuff that he does is bad.
So I
Oh.
remember one time Destiny sent me a video of him doing donuts in a flood with his friends.
Oh
In a
my
flood.
fucking god!
In a flooded parking lot.
I bet I have a feeling that his reasoning is because it's easier to do donuts in a flooded parking lot.
No,
No,
his
he just
reasoning would
likes
be
being
because
stupid.
if you were to ask him why, it'd be because I wanted to.
Like
You know what?
he literally just likes being stupid.
Let's
Like,
go
that's
ahead.
always
Let's
been how he's been.
Let's compile a series of stupid things he's done. I'll start with this. He got his vape taken away, proceeded to get really mad,
Imagine getting your vape
post that
taken
he
away.
got another one on Snapchat, and got that one taken away.
By
Because his
who?
dad is friends with it on Snapchat.
His dad is my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, my dad is his stepdad. He's my stepbrother.
Yeah.
Okay.
2,
Oh my.
he was pulled over for having.
Oh, can I say this? No, can I?
Oh,
can I
yo,
say
let
this
let
story?
Des- please let Destiny share this one.
To say, you know how there is a limit on how much somebody can tint their windows because once it's tinted so dark, it's dangerous, right?
Yeah, because you can't. Not only can
Because you literally cannot see at night when you
Yeah.
tint it, but so dark. Okay, he tinted his windows so fucking dark. When it was nighttime, you literally could not see. And when it was daytime, you thought it was night outside because of how dark his tint was.
Why?
Like, I think he probably tinted it the darkest he possibly could.
While still be able
What I
to
don't
see
understand is
someone.
why people
Yeah.
like why manufacturers are allowing you to do that, to tint it that dark.
Oh, he did it on his own.
You know, whatever is being done to his truck, he just does it on his own. Because the Yees, that little community, they trade parts and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, like they it's rare if they actually buy a part. Like it's just traded around throughout.
It's like,
Like
Pokemon
one
cards,
one
but
will
it's
be
truck
like
parts.
one will be
Oh.
like, hey, my old tire, like they get new tires, right? But they're still good, but they just wanted new tires. They'll be like, oh hey, my old tires would look good on your truck, and then they just trade. Like it's just that's what they do. It's I don't know.
So he managed to get himself pulled over because he tinted his windows way too
Yeah,
dark.
and he got
Mhm.
pulled over, got a $290 ticket.
Holy
From it.
crap.
He's only 16.
Just, that does go on record.
Getting pulled
And
over.
and I'm the one that's apparently the problem child.
Okay, no, we're saving her for, last.
Her.
Who is her?
We don't
That is
refer
the
to
question.
her by name. We will text you her name. We will not say her name.
I shall not say the name.
It is like
Anyways.
saying Voldemort. She is she who shall not be named.
Oh my gosh.
If we're referring to the same person.
Yes.
Jesse,
Okay.
please tell Daisy Corey said that. Please.
Okay, I will.
That is perfect description. Anyways,
Okay.
so you go ahead.
Are you telling
Here's
the
another
Are you
problem.
telling the story?
No, I'm still on
Are you still on Brian?
Still on.
There was
Brian.
one time he went ahead
He's still
and,
on Brian.
Uh-huh.
if I remember correctly, he opened up his Snapchat to a bunch of people and was like, text me if you're open or something like that. Collected a bunch of girls' nudes and just posted them on his Snapchat story,
Oh.
public for everyone to see. Not him as a friend, as I know.
Oh.
Oh yeah, and one time he took a picture of his teacher's ass and said his teacher was thick and he got suspended for it.
That sounds like, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like something like 8th, 9th grade me would do. I was that stupid.
And when
Okay,
my
but it sounds
dad
like
was
something
my
current
dad
Daniel-
was explaining that story to me,
It's definitely something Daniel or Donald has done.
and my dad doesn't see anything Brian posts on Snapchat, even though he has him on Snapchat, but Brian blocked him. I've told my dad, I was like, if you saw any of the Snapchats he posted, he would get in trouble all day, every day. Cause like he like perpetually drinks too.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
He's
see
literally
everything.
the redneck me. Like it's fucking insane.
Ooh.
The only problem is he gets caught.
The only problem, I don't think that's a problem if he gets caught.
And one time I was at like a Christmas, like a family Christmas gathering, and I also have a sister. She's my half sister.
Oh my god.
Her name
Oh
is
no.
her name is Alexis, and me and Daisy were sitting on the couch, and Alexis was like sitting on the other couch. I think she was playing the Switch or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, literally just out of nowhere, she was like, "My brother says the N word."
Ah. Uh-huh. Okay, so in that regard, we're not the same.
And she who shall not be named walked in and was like, "Lexi, no, he does not say it in that way."
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh.
So she knows.
I hope that you
Jose, no,
as to
no.
how terrible
Wait,
a person she is.
just once we start talking about the shit she did or does, you'll understand. You will understand. Okay?
Like, and Daisy said that Brian has literally called her like hard R N word before.
Ooh.
Like he is, and he's homophobic too. Like if
Big homophobic.
say if it was two guys like holding hands, he would literally walk the other direction and leave. Like he hates gay people. He can't stand them.
Dude, I would love to see him try and last one day in this town.
Just for the record,
no, he
just for the record, we don't support this. Just saying, we are fully accepting
Oh, yeah.
of gay. Like, if you're gay, that's perfect. Like, that's perfectly fine.
Like, we don't condone.
We
These kind of
don't
actions.
condone on the podcast that we don't have a name for yet, and 2 episodes in. We don't condone racism, sexism, homophobia, xenophobia, all of that.
Okay, I don't
We
know.
are all
Certain
inclusive.
aliens. Like, come on, xenomorph. Come on.
Okay, wait.
Okay,
Corey,
but
Corey,
talking about
Corey,
the
Corey,
human
you're gonna
race.
need to cut this, Corey. You're gonna need to cut.
Personality.
So what I'm getting at is that he's
He's a bit
Not-
crazy, but he's not as bad as the others.
okay.
Now, the moment we've been waiting for.
Uh-huh.
She who shall not be named. Jose's
I
finally been let in.
Only to be
Anyways.
involved.
Anyways, shall we begin with her?
Yeah, go ahead.
Destiny,
That's like
I
the
feel
only
you
story I
are-
have, so I can't really talk about it.
Destiny, I really feel like you are the only person who can really give an accurate description to who she is, as my interactions with her are very limited.
I've never interacted with her.
To give you a good example, my mom literally wants to fight her. Like if my mom ever sees her, she will probably literally fucking fight her.
She will
Like-
probably kill her.
My mom said to me, she was like, "If I ever see that bitch again, I'm gonna take her by her hair." Like it's really bad.
It's like deep rooted hatred. It's
And,
like
And
it's
I-
like
Is your mom? I have a question. Is your mom the type to like say this thing kind of thing toward people, or is she like,
No, it's only when she really, really hates somebody.
oh,
that's how you know it's bad.
My mom has never threatened. I've never heard her threaten to fight anybody except her.
damn, it must be bad then. Why? What are some things that she's?
Oh, what? Oh,
Uh-oh.
my Discord crashed.
Make sure the recording's
Oh.
all good.
The recording's good. I just have to just don't worry about what I'm about to do.
But I'm worried about what you.
I'm just
I'm
gonna start
worried.
I'm just gonna start a quick stream real quick and then end it.
Okay.
Never mind, that didn't work. Hang on, let me do it again.
Uh-oh.
Just don't watch it. Don't worry about it. All right, we're good.
Okay.
All right.
Anyways, Destiny, continue.
Her and my dad got married. When I'm just gonna say her name because I'm not about to say she who shall not be named every single time I need to refer to her.
Nah, just refer to her as
So-
her. Her or she.
Or
That's fine.
Voldemort.
I'll say her
Or
name.
Voldemort. Or bitch
Voldemort.
baby.
Bitch baby.
Actually, no. Refer to them as bitch baby. Please.
It'll
I'm
make
okay
it'll
with
make it funnier.
No. Her name is Christy. They got married when I was 8.
Uh-huh.
And she obviously had Brian was only 3 years old when they got married.
So
Brian.
Brian is
16,
He's
17.
16. He's 16.
okay, but wait, does that mean that like Christy or Chrissy?
Christy.
What
There's a
is
T in there.
Christy is Christy Brian's mom then?
No.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's my stepbrother. So, and then my sister, my dad, and Christy had her together. So that's why she's my half sister.
Okay.
There's
I
so
think-
there's
now
so
why-
much.
No, I can understand this.
If Jose asks questions, it helps me explain it better. So
Here,
Okay.
I'll bring this up. Let's start with the way she acts towards everyone. I mean, like, her general attitude, the facade. There we go, that's a good one. Let's start with the facade she puts up.
if anybody will go, if there's anybody that's gone behind your back and like said shit about you, she will do it 10 times faster. She will be. I mean, she's not even nice to your face, honestly. Well, actually, she kind of is, but it depends. Like
Try to
she'll
be
say
with
like
me.
smart, like she says some really smart ass
She's
shit.
what you would call a. She's
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 I guess it's
Jose.
smart.
Jose, to put it into
She goes with the
perspective, that
wind. She'll do things that put her like things in her favor.
to put it in perspective to help understand a little bit better, she's the adult version of Amana. Like
I mean,
that's
Amana's not even
I
that
don't- I
bad.
don't- No,
No,
she's
I
pretty
don't
bad.
think you would compare something the
I
way you guys are making
honestly-
it sound. Amana's not that bad.
she's like Stella. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, yeah, no, Stella's a
Let's just put it that way. Except
Stella,
except
don't get me started
except
with
super
Stella.
conservative.
yeah. Don't get me started with Stella. I don't know why, but I
No,
just
we're not going into that. We're not going into that.
We could rant about it later.
She infuriates me. That's all. I'm
Okay,
gonna say.
so yeah, she's basically the conservative version of Stella. That to help
Uh-huh.
put it in perspective. The shit that Destiny has shown me from like her Facebook and stuff. Holy shit. Like
She hasn't been reported at all because of this.
surprisingly no. But she's just a terrible, terrible person. Like you can't even have an opinion.
you literally cannot have an opinion around her.
You could say beans on Facebook, right? No,
It's
Okay.
no, just
like
I'm just keeping it simple here. Like you could say something like stupid, like I
Corn.
like goats, like I like eating corn on the cob, and she'll belittle you and berate you for saying that you like corn on the cob, and to keep it on the topic of corn, to not like it's mostly political, so I'm not going to talk about it. But it's like she'll go on rants, multiple paragraphs of why you eating corn on the cob is wrong and why eating like say creamed corn is the way to go. Except like take corn on the cob as like being like liberal and take eating creamed corn as being conservative.
And
That is the
Let's
most
just-
simple way I can explain
Oh.
her.
And let me add this. her articles are about probably
The dumbest shit.
as valid as The Onion.
They're about as valid as one of us going on like CNN or something and saying that like saying something about anything and
So
like
if
trying
we're-
to present it as fact.
If we're gonna get into that, I might as well just get into the Facebook post because I have all the screenshots right here, and
They're
I could read it to you word
They're
for word what
they're
she said.
so bad. But like, do you want to put do you want to get political on here? Or it's kind of like
Well, this isn't even.
It's not
political.
even super political. Like she started attacking me personally, so it's
Okay,
not
yeah,
even
let's
like
go.
extremely
All right.
political.
all right. Let's go. Let's
So
publicly
if
expose
you
a
can-
bad
if-
human
if
being.
if we can avoid the politics, and Corey can just post.
Politics.
it's not
are
even
no,
it's not even that much
that.
politics. I have to talk about the politics for you to understand.
Yeah,
the
but
story.
like like politics like it's fine, but like getting super into it is like kind of
yeah,
kind
like,
of an
I'm
iffy
just-
thing.
Doesn't.
But since it's like personal, like it's like a personal rip, it's fine. Like it's like publicly exposing a bad human being is something that I want to do. So go for it.
Hold on one sec. I have to fix my charger. Give me a second. Like,
Well, you know how like my base looked really crappy.
okay, I'm good.
Look.
Jose.
Jose, put your stream away, dude.
Look,
Jose, I'm recording.
but look.
Jose, I can't look at it.
Oh. Oh.
So I shared something on Facebook, and it was comparing Trump's like numbers, so like jobs added, GDP growth, unemployment rate, stuff like that, comparing it to Obama's. And for Obama, it used the numbers that he had when he first got in office, which were Bush's numbers. You know how Bush like basically ruined the economy and stuff. So, and then it was saying Trump, like it was giving Trump all these amazing numbers, right? And I was like, oh, this is extremely fake because I even looked it up. Like I did a lot of research on it, trying to make sure. I was like, okay, before I share this, I need to make sure I'm actually right. And I was right. I found a lot of articles talking about it, and one article fact checking it, saying it was false.
But she came onto it.
Just let me.
Oh.
Just let her go.
I shared it, and I said, this is fake. You guys should fact check before, you share this kind of stuff. Because I was seeing it shared everywhere around my Facebook, and I was tired of seeing it. And my dad commented and said, I'm sure it's probably true. Trump 2020, and that's where it fucking started.
Uh-oh.
He started
With that
something.
single quote?
That's shit. Jose, just get ready for shit to hit the fan.
Wait, hold on. So I'm pretty sure this is gonna get cut out, but is she a Trump supporter?
Heavy.
Yes.
Okay.
Heavy.
It
Heavily.
gets
She-
ba-
She would fucking deep throat Trump if he actually had a dick the size to do it.
okay. No,
Probably
I'm
has
only
the size
gonna
of a
I'm
dick.
only gonna leave this stuff in because it's like it.
No, I don't care if you leave
Yeah,
it in.
people
I would
people
love
like
for...
people like this exist, and like it needs to be aware that people like this exist, and like it shouldn't be tolerated or allowed anywhere.
Another
But
thing
they are
also
really
is
good
that-
at making themselves look like they're a good person.
Yeah, it's like stuff like this, like talking about this and like leaving it in and shit. It's like, granted, this is probably gonna like do poorly for a little bit, but like it's like getting it out there and like letting people know that people like this exist, like helps, like
Helps people understand.
yeah.
But
it
another
helps.
thing to also understand is that just because that this one person's bad doesn't mean that things that she considers herself like Trump supporter or other things doesn't mean that other people aren't bad like that.
Well, it also
can't
it's
com-
important
can't
to
No,
know
just,
that
like,
it just
others.
puts light to the fact that there
Yeah.
are people like this.
Yeah, and just because she's a Trump supporter doesn't
It doesn't mean all Trump supporters.
It doesn't
are
mean
bad
like
people.
it doesn't mean that you're
Not
like
stereotyping.
no
Trump
no. Yeah,
supporters.
Yeah,
No,
no,
but like
we're
people,
just
people,
general.
people.
just
kinda-
quick note before Destiny gets into
Disclaimers.
this. Just a disclaimer. Your political views, you can have
Okay.
them. Just
Don't
don't
hurt
be
others.
this kind of person on any side, like either side of the spectrum that you are. Like if you're Democratic or Republican, like the shit that's about to be said,
I'm scared.
please,
I have not even heard this.
please, just prepare for the worst of what you're about to hear, and don't be like this ever.
All right, Destiny, hit me with it.
Destiny, whenever you're ready.
Anyways, he said, "I'm sure it's probably true, Trump 2020." And I got frustrated because I was like, okay, so I just said that it was fake and he's just automatically assuming it's true. Which kind of annoyed me.
I mean, what
And
can you
then
do to change your opinion?
I sent him the fact-checking article. I was like, well, actually, I read up a lot on it, and this is what I found, right? I didn't say anything bad. I didn't
You just said that
nothing.
you found.
I
you
just
found
sent him.
factual
Yeah, I
evidence.
just found this article. That's all I said. And then Daisy came in and she was like, "Hey, Destiny, check out this TED Talk I watched for my psychology class. This will help you understand why some people do not care to look into things before they speak/share." And she sent an article. And then Christy commented with a snowflake emoji.
Trust me, that's just the cherry on top. That's the snowball that starts the avalanche.
Not even, dude. It's the top half of
It's
the
the
avalanche.
snowflake that
The
starts
other
the avalanche. What
90%
do you
of it.
mean?
Just I really fucked up that analogy, but you get the point.
Okay.
And
okay.
I think I laugh reacted to the snowflake comment. And
I don't
then
remember.
That's what tipped her off.
no, just after that, like right after she posted the snowflake, she posted another comment and said, "Hey Chuck," which is my dad's name. Like she tagged my dad. She said, "Check out these Trump numbers on factcheck.org," and she sent an article. "This will help you understand why some people find the answers completely opposite on the same page. Now, which one do we believe? Definitely won't wait for Fox News to straighten it out for me." And the article she posted was literally saying the exact same thing my article said. The exact same thing.
Wait. Oh my gosh.
And so I've never ever went off on her. I've never went off on her. I've never went off on my dad. I've never visibly gotten angry at her or my dad because I'm literally scared of them. Because she could just ruin me with a few words that aren't even true and people would believe it.
Because she's that kind of person where like
Yes.
everyone believes her.
Mhm.
So, and this is the first thing I have ever said to him, to my dad, or to her that was even the slightest bit maybe disrespectful. I said, stop inserting yourself into stuff that had nothing to do with you. And I tagged my dad and I said, "I love you, but your wife pisses me off. No disrespect intended to you." Like, it wasn't even that bad.
It's just
But
insult to her, not him.
yeah.
Like, it's not. I'm not trying to be mad.
And
It's
then
like this is her.
And then my dad commented back and said, "You have lost your mind. It pisses me off that you would even say that. Now you can be mad at me for being mad at you for saying something completely out of line on a political post. Merry Christmas." This was like around Christmas time. And Christy commented again and said #our president and put a smiley face.
She's just like rubbing salt into a wound there.
Something that I don't think she wanted to do. Just to put it out there.
And then my cousin, who lives in Florida now, she was like, "So calling your sniff..." Sorry, wait. I think she said something else. Hold on. Christy commented something else. I don't think I got that entire thing.
But this isn't like the really bad stuff. This is the stuff that like just shows what her kind of personality is, right?
I cut off half the paragraph, but I can read you the second half.
Oh,
She said, because I don't have the screenshot for some reason. She said, what I do care about is how you treat people. Can you be nice when all odds are against you? Can you sit in a room, smile, hold a conversation, even if you know half of the room disagrees or hates you? Or do you sit in a corner and sulk and why you're right and they are wrong? I choose happy. Happy for me isn't for you, but let's choose happy. And in the beginning of that, she referred to me as an idiot. Like in the beginning of that paragraph.
so she's just telling you to suck it up, and even if you're right, just to admit yourself,
Yeah.
just to say
And
that you're
then
wrong.
and then my other cousin
Which one,
was
Daisy,
like,
or a
no,
different one?
this is a different one. She lives in Florida. She was like, "How is calling your stepdaughter a snowflake a rational discussion?" And so Christy said, "Classic. The snowflake was a response to the people who don't fact check. Then I furthered my thought with one side that says A is the fact and one side says B is the fact. Which one is the fact? Obviously, you know more about the stepdaughter thing than I do. I've never been acknowledged as more than a wedge between them. I've been lied on, talked about, and used, yet I still remain pleasant and respectful. To the whole crew of henchmen, the second I acted as a parent, I became the bad guy. The only one person who stood up for what they know is right. And not because he is supposed to, but because he knows destiny is not pitiful, tiptoeing around her exactly why somebody almost went to jail for not sending her to school. So the two people who believe destiny was worth so much more somehow get all the ridicule. I'm over it, all of which is none of anyone else's business, but since you brought it up, there it is. Hate me, like me, talk to me, whatever. I refuse to be the snowflake when it comes to raising decent human beings.
You
Chuck,
refuse to be the snowflake, but call others snowflakes.
Chuck refuses to sit by and watch as people ruin his daughter's life because they just want her to like them. He was not and will not participate in just telling her what she wants to hear. What he will do is tell her what she needs to hear, since no one seems capable of doing so. Now, if it makes it easier for the guilty parties to sleep at night and they need somebody to blame, why not? Sure, let it be me. It's not like she doesn't already tell everybody I'm so mean and it's all my fault. And her dad is mean because I tell him what to say and do. And she put in parentheses, that's funny by the way. And whatever else the masses would have one believe. I can't undo the lies I have been told. All I can do is call it like I see it. I'm going to exit now. It's just the right thing to do as everyone questions why I put all of that on Facebook. It's not like there hasn't been a conversation or two, probably more than that behind my back. This two sides to every story thing is kind of fun, especially when the truth comes out. But who's telling the truth? Who has more to lose with the truth coming out?
That entire statement stopped when I first heard the first sentence, when she said, "There's A and B, and they both have their own sides." Literally the same point. Literally both sides had the same point with your fact check and her fact check. They both proved the same thing.
I didn't go to school. I can literally every point she made, I can give you a reason behind it. I didn't go to school because I have severe social anxiety. So I did not go to school for a long time because it's hard for me to function around people, literally. I
And
just cannot function.
you went and got your GED when we were freshmen, I think.
Something like that.
We were freshmen, and I think you graduated, your junior year, I think? I remember Gyula telling me.
I graduated in 2017.
Yeah, we were freshmen then.
So,
No, we were freshmen. Because it was like right when I met you guys. It was like right when Gyula got me into Discord and I got you into Discord and we started, like we actually met. Like it was like right around the server days. But that's not important.
yeah.
Like when it happened wasn't important. Like just like it was to the point where she like graduated earlier than everybody else.
And I still graduated a year earlier than when I was actually supposed to graduate. I still got it done. It's not like I didn't get school done. It took me a while because I have severe depression and anxiety, and things just, when you fall into a hole, it's very hard to get back up. It's extremely hard.
Yeah, I feel like
It took me like 5 years, but I did it.
That entire
And that's what
statement,
matters.
that entire
Right.
statement that she wrote angered me.
yeah.
Literally everything she said, I just could relate back to the first post that she put. and it was immediately that she was a hypocrite.
Do you
Yeah.
understand
kept
her?
saying that
You
she was
understand
doing
her
the thing.
personality now? Like
She's the biggest hypocrite
Yeah, it's
I've
and
seen.
like that's pretty much like on everything. Either Daisy, Destiny, or like anybody who disagrees with her point on Facebook.
Trust me. If
there's
I
more,
meet her,
by the way. I'm not done.
Yeah, there's way more.
oh no, I've already heard enough to know that if I ever meet her and she doesn't know me, I'm immediately hitting her.
Oh
Gender
my
equality.
god!
I don't care who she is, what she does. I have no social media. I have nothing people can go to me and berate me. Who cares? I will go there and personally beat the shit out of her.
So, just there's so many disclaimers. This one, we don't condone abuse or hitting someone of the other gender.
No, I condone
But-
true gender equality.
Okay, but I wasn't finished.
And
We
that
don't
means
condone
if you're a
it
girl,
if
a
it's
boy,
not
trans, bi,
It's-
whatever.
Oh my god!
Punched equally.
We-
If you do something wrong that hurts me or anyone I know and love, you get punched.
No, we don't condone it unless it's warranted or you were hit first. If you were hit first, by all means, go to town. I'm probably gonna cut this out. This is so bad. I'm not trying to get. I'm not trying to.
This is great, honestly. I love it.
I'll
I'm
entertained.
entertained.
I actually have to get off. It's late. No, just like have an archive.
Yeah.
Wait, let me read you this other paragraph then.
All right, but I have to get off because it's late and my parents are gonna get mad.
Wait, Jose, just stay for like another minute.
All right, anchor me more. I need to be anchored.
And then like maybe like Destiny, just if you want to tell him about the thing that she did that we can't talk about here.
My mom commented and said, "You are entitled to your own opinion. Please get rid of people on your page that live for starting anything they can get to get attention." And then she tagged my cousin and was like, "Thank you for taking up for my daughter from people that have no good intentions for her at all." And Christy commented back to that saying, "So Destiny is the only one entitled to an opinion. When anyone has a different opinion, they are trying to get attention. I don't have good intentions, ? I'm obviously living in an alternate dimension because I thought it was normal for parents to send their kids to school. I thought it was normal to make sure your children practice proper hygiene. I definitely thought it was normal to sit down and do homework with them, cook dinner for them, teach them right from wrong, those kinds of things. Talk about a wake-up call. I've been doing things the hard way all this time. Thank you for setting the record straight. You can go back to that perfect life you set up. Continue to feed the bad guy lie syndrome. Revenge is not mine. I've been over it. I will, however, not sit here and be made out to be awful, though. I've done that for far too long. I will stand up for myself. In the future, if you post controversial topics, expect controversial comments. Also, if you make someone out to be something they are not, expect the truth to come out and don't get all butthurt when it does." So she thinks she's telling the truth.
Oh yeah, no.
And-
I bet all that thing that she said that she was being a good parent also were true.
Really
No,
quick.
I raised
also
a
thinks
I
she's
raised a
one
racist drunk son. Oh, I'm such a good parent.
Racist, homophobic,
Drunk.
alcoholic son, and I'm the bad one.
When
I'm the bad one.
when you have, granted, it's not that well paying. You have a job. You can fend for yourself. You have literally like. I'm not gonna like suck Gyula's dick here or anything, but you have like a great boyfriend. Like
No, he's mine.
I'm not
CC
like, what? So Jose's the one sucking his dick here. No, but like you have people that support you and care about you, and you're the bad one. Just
Everybody went through a phase when they were a child where they didn't want to take a shower. Everybody here could agree with that, right?
Every
Oh,
single
yeah.
one of us here.
I went through that phase, and she thought that was my mom neglecting me.
It's like, like the rough, like just to generalize, like the rough teenage years, like right when puberty starts, like 12 through maybe
Yeah.
like 15,
When you
16.
actually need to start showering, you're
When
like,
you
"Ow,
need to start
shower."
showering. No, okay.
Dude,
When the like your hormones change and you're like the happiness that you was a child turns into depression and unmotivation. That's where like that period happens, and
Yeah.
it's normal.
Yeah,
While-
exactly.
while we here condone like shower, like we encourage showering and stuff.
All the disclaimers,
we
disclaimers.
we condone, like we encourage showers, hygiene and stuff. But if you're if you've gone through or are going through like that period of just not being motivated to do anything like that, especially now considering the times we're in, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like
I have a couple more things
yeah,
to
go ahead.
say. When I was younger, like when I started having to put on deodorant, and when you just start having to put on deodorant, you're not in the habit of putting on deodorant.
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
and
So
when
you
forget,
forget
and
you
it's like,
forget a
ooh.
lot
Yep.
at first. And she told my granny Shauna that, which is my dad's stepmom. She told her,
Is she the mean granny?
no, I love her. She's amazing.
There's only nice grannies as far as I know.
yeah, only nice grannies.
Only nice grannies here.
But
Okay. I just have a very
She-
stupid grandma, but no,
she literally hid my deodorant to see if I would ask for it.
who? Your mom?
Christy. She hid my deodorant to see if I would ask for it. And then she went to my granny Shauna and was like, she didn't even ask for her deodorant. She was like, that's how you know stuff is bad over at her mom's or whatever.
What do you mean? You don't see the damn thing. You're gonna put it
Out
on
of sight, out of
delete?
mind. That's like a common thing for a child and like growing teenager.
And also, she says she's an amazing parent and has only wanted the best for me, but behind my back, she asked my granny T if I was faking my depression.
Situation like that. It's like,
In front of she said that shit in front of my dad, and he didn't say a fucking thing to her. He didn't say a single thing.
God, why are some fathers so fucking retarded?
That's putting it nicely.
I have an uncle who's an absolute shithead. Cause he believes that vaccinations don't work.
We're not even
It's
gonna
just,
get into that.
Yeah, let's
no,
not-
you know what? This is not. This is. But he believes that vaccinations don't work, and right now he has two babies, right, in the middle of this pandemic, unvaccinated. And not only that, where he lives right now, there are a load of tall grass, a load of ticks, and a bunch of germs,
Oh no.
and it's just it's like damn. You know what, baby? I pray for you that you make it through this.
Anyways, and she always talks about how it's not my dad's job to defend me, literally from her. He has not defended me. He has not defended me a single time from her, ever. She's called me fat. I could probably think of a million things, honestly.
Just like the way, just things that belittling you.
Like, I know I'm fat, but you don't have to tell me, you know?
It's frustrating.
Quick note: just keep your opinions to yourself.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Just know, if I ever see her, and she don't know me, but she gonna see a random Mexican come up to her.
Random. we have a running joke with our friend group that Jose is the tallest Mexican on the planet.
She's gonna be this. I'm gonna.
Jose is
Mexican.
Jose is 6'1". And we don't
He's
know.
a lot taller than me, then.
We don't know
A tall
anybody.
Mexican? Wow.
Yeah, we don't know anyone. We don't know anyone in our school who's
Corey, I'm
taller.
probably taller. I'm taller.
You're at least 6'1".
I've gotten taller than my dad.
Um,
Like way taller.
but
This is
I-
bad.
I'm
I'm
scared
still
to I'm
growing.
scared to
Stop.
see you again.
I'm
But
not.
just like we don't know anybody else in our school who's Mexican and is taller than him, or isn't anywhere near as tall as him. I think Ernesto is he's 5'5",
Still taller than
and
I
he's the
forgot.
tallest Mexican in our school. Like he's the second, like the tallest person that we asked.
Yeah,
So
you'll see a
just
very, very
seeing, just
tall.
see, just know this joke is not racist. It's in our friend group, and Jose is okay with it because he's the one who helped make the joke. Just imagine
Condone
seeing the
decree.
tallest Mexican on the world. Not trying to be racist again, by the way. Just seeing the tallest
No,
Mexican
but
in the world
she's
just
going to
fucking
see it.
bolt at you and hit you with the meanest right hook.
I've hit Corey with my right slap. He's already
Oh
gone
my
down.
god. Okay, so story time. One time in
Hold on. One more thing. Before we
sophomore
get
year,
into that.
Jose slapped me in the neck really hard and left my neck red for 2 hours.
I beat him up.
And the only thing the gym teacher had to say was get off the ground.
So when Gyula was meeting my dad, like my dad wanted to meet Gyula.
Oh,
So my dad came over, and him and Gyula were actually having a really good conversation.
Uh-huh.
Like they were just getting to know each other. Like they had no problems with each other. It was actually a really good conversation. Like all of us were just talking and having fun, and he, like my dad was eating or whatever.
Uh-huh.
It was just like really genuine and nice. But apparently he brought Christy with him.
Oh.
no, it wasn't that. It was Christy decided to come over.
Oh.
No, he brought her with him. But she like stayed outside talking to Granny T for a bit. Trust me, I know. I
I
remember.
thought you got back from a bike ride.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then she decided that she was gonna come over.
He rides bikes to exercise,
Uh-huh.
and he got there from a bike ride,
Uh-huh.
and then Christy came over like not too long after.
Uh-huh.
But like he invited her, like he told her to come,
Right.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and I was only expecting him to meet my dad. That's it.
Not Christy.
I did not know he was bringing Christy and Brian too.
Oh.
And my dad and Christy got in there, and then my dad started introducing. And then he's like, "Well, this is my wife." And then she said, "Yeah, I'm the evil stepmother."
Like just tauntingly said it. And
Yeah, like she said that directly at him.
listen, I'm no
Dude,
religious man.
I swear, as soon as you heard that, you tell me you got like vibes off that. You were like, this isn't. This
Oh
isn't
yeah, are you
going
kidding
well.
me? I was like, oh wow, she's a.
No, Eula can
More
tell you like how angry I probably looked.
Oh, she was fucking livid. Like I could just see it on her face. Like sure, it was hidden, but
But
just
it
like
was there. You could tell.
oh yeah.
You could feel
And-
the aura.
Okay, listen. I'm not a religious man, but I swear on that day I saw the devil walk into a room.
Oh boy.
Nobody
She
Nobody-
killed the mood just by walking in.
Oy.
like literally instantly. Like they were having a great conversation and she instantly ruined it the second she walked in the door. And it never like came up because
It
she
never
just
came
stayed
back.
in the room. It never
Nope.
came back. I don't hate people, but I fucking hate her. And I despise her. And I literally do not care if she died. And I never say that about anybody. I'm like, everybody deserves to live. Everybody deserves a second chance. No, I literally think, like, I do not care if she dies.
Dude, she was given her second chance this second. She fucked up the first
I am
time.
not the kind of person that hates somebody to the point to where that I'm okay with them dying, but I got to that point with her.
Man.
Like, she pretty much tortured me for 7 years of my life. Until my dad finally stopped making me go over to his house.
Yeah. Well,
At that point, you were finally at peace.
for the most part.
What?
I guess you can say that.
I don't know how.
That
your life
goes
went after
further down the rabbit hole that we will not ever
And I don't know.
touch.
Brian talked to Eula, but it was like he
It
was
was-
asking him about his wheat allergy. It's bullshit.
I think Brian was intimidated by me, honestly, because of the way I spoke.
Well, you spoke
Because
very,
because even Destiny, your dad even said that, like, I must like have a good vocabulary or something like that, because I articulated my words in a way that like I
Dude, I feel like
sounded.
they'd be scared of me because of how tall I am and nothing else.
Okay, you have to no. Brian is like 6'3".
Oh yeah,
He is very tall.
and he plays football. Or does he
Oh.
anymore?
He plays football and baseball. He's very
Oh.
tall.
Ah, his
That
his
is-
walk-up name would be Big Country.
Like when he was 12 or 13, he was taller than me.
Damn.
Yeah, he had a really big growth spurt for
I don't
some
know. I
reason.
have to measure myself. I haven't measured myself in a while. What was I think I was what 6'1"?
Uh,
Or was I straight up 6 foot?
You were 6 foot. Because I'm 5'10" and you were significantly taller than me, so at least 6 foot.
And then
Alright.
he was like to Gyula, he was like, so you can't drink beer? Gyula
That
like,
was his question.
No. Yes, that was his question. Gyula was like, no,
Dude,
I
I
can't
swear,
drink beer.
your dad's an idiot if he didn't pick up on Brian saying you don't drink beer.
Like no, beer has like barley and rye and stuff in it. You can't like it's got wheat.
I think they make IPAs, like, or not IPAs, like, I'm not gonna even talk about it on here. I'm
I drink
underage.
wine. What do you mean?
Mm-hmm. No,
All you
they
has to
do.
drink is wine.
They do make alcoholic beverages that are free of gluten, and also I'm probably never gonna drink alcohol. It doesn't intrigue me in any way. So, I guess we should probably end it there, right?
Yeah, that was
Getting
perfect.
late, and we have a
It's getting late. We
lot
have
of content.
we've been recording for almost 3 hours.
Yeah, this is better than last
We
time.
have I think 2.5 hours. Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode of the Owl's Nest. Hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you think and like any of your opinions. And hope to see you next Friday with episode 3. Thank you so much.